The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Welcome, everyone, to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. And each week, we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages that we cover. This is a very special week, given the storm damage that we've had, and many of the mayors and supervisors are busy attending to those affairs. However, they have been very grateful to write us an update, which I will read for those interested in the latest goings-on. This is as of Friday, June 20th. From Rob Hayes, the mayor of Avon. First and foremost, we are thankful for all our residents and that they are safe, and further thankful for the hard work from our fire department, police, and DPW crew. As of approximately 10 p.m. the night of the storm, all roads and streets within the village of Avon are open. We ask residents to continue to use caution as our DPW continues to clean up debris, clean out culverts and catch basins, and repair torn up surfaces. The village of Avon declared a state of emergency as of 7 p.m. June 18th. We are working alongside Livingston County Emergency Management and the American Red Cross. We did have some residents on Sackett Road displaced when their apartment foundation wall collapsed. From Jim Kirch, supervisor of the town of Wheatland, there was a joint town and village storm update on Friday morning. This is their report regarding the town and village roads. Multiple roads were flooded to some level. No road closures occurred. The state and county roads, North Road, Chila Avenue, Scottsford, Munford, were all closed for some period of time. These road closures were initially managed by our fire departments. 2 vehicles were stranded under the railroad trestle on Scottsville-Munford Road. The fire department performed rescue operations. Several trees came down and were taken care of by our highway department and village DPW. Town Northeast Sanitary System, NESS, pump systems, all systems performed as they should. The unprecedented volume led to a surge that took some time to dissipate. The village systems performed as they should. Some pumps running into the sanitary sewer system complicated the problem. Individual homes. There were multiple basements flooded in both the village and the town. Several properties received extensive damage, both in the village and the town. Here are the action items. We will be reaching out to the community individually to better understand where problems occurred, and we'll use this information to discuss how things could be improved going forward. In summary, all town and village systems performed to their expected capability. The amount of rain for such a short period of time was unprecedented. We have reached out to the county and state to conduct a post-storm analysis. There are multiple interconnections with the county and state systems that will be further evaluated as a result of this event. In conclusion, while the storm was unprecedented and caused quite a bit of damage, it allowed us to identify issues within our systems that could be improved. The town and village will be having discussions with the state and the Monroe County Water Authority to review the event, which can help prepare us for the future. Kudos to our first responders, including the Scottsville Fire Department, the Mumford Fire Department, the town's Highway Department, and the Village Department of Public Works, who worked around the clock barricading roads, cleaning drainage ditches, rescuing stranded people, and answering calls. We have no report at this time from the town of Rush, but we do know that there was extensive damage there to roads at least. From the town of Lima, a more complete report with regards to the goings-on there for this week. Ballots have been cast and the results are now certified. Congratulations to Madeline Strain, a senior from Kishikaw Central School, who is the winner of this year's I Voted sticker design contest sponsored by the Livingston County Board of Elections. The stickers will be used for all of the elections for the next 12 months in Livingston County. July 4th is coming fast. The Lima celebration will be at Mark Tubbs Park on July 4th, starting at 5 p.m., with kids, games, and food. The fireworks display will be after dark, approximately 9:55 p.m. Bring your own lawn chairs and blankets and enjoy the spectacle with your neighbors. The vote for the proposed Water District 5 will be July 15th at the Lima Town Hall from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. All properties in the proposed water district can vote, subject to certain rules. The rules are up on the town website, www.lima-ny.org. Livingston County Probation leads the way in juvenile suicide prevention. Developed by researchers at Columbia University, eConnect is a digital decision support system which provides probation officers with real-time screening to identify juveniles at highest risk for suicide or self-harm. The tool connects those youths in crisis with immediate access to the proper medical health care resources based on their needs. Studies show that young people in juvenile justice system experience suicide rates at 2 to 3 times higher than those in the general population. Targeted referrals and earlier intervention have made the tool stand out among those probation departments where it is currently in use. Livingston was one of 10 pilot counties selected by Columbia University to trial the eConnect tool in 2018. Livingston County Probation for the past year has had a perfect referral and treatment initiation rate. In real-world terms, this means that for each youth on probation who is screened with eConnect and identified as in need of treatment, whether it be for crisis services or traditional outpatient behavioral health care, all of them are referred by probation officers, and all of these youth access care. The Crossroads Festival is July 31st to August 3rd. www.limafest.org to see the bands, register your craft, vendor, or nonprofit or food truck, and register for the 5K race and the bed races. You can sponsor through the website too. See you around town. Rick Milne, mayor of Honeoye Falls, reports after the intense rainstorm and flash flooding this week, along with the continual emergency service calls, I want to note the incredible efforts of our local DPW highway crews and our emergency services teams doing their utmost to handle each and every call as best they could. Each notification from the 911 center, each walk-in or direct call to the fire hall or DPW facility was logged, and requests for service were prioritized based upon notification and potential hazard. I want to thank all our residents and businesses that were impacted by the flash flooding for your understanding and patience as every piece of pumping equipment was in use, and we have to also remember we're working with very limited staffing. There was not an ability to ask for mutual aid, as every community around us throughout Monroe County, as well as Livingston and Ontario counties, were doing the same. The magnitude of this event was not normal. Our kudos and thanks to our local fire department first responders, our highway and DPW staff teams, and all those who have helped. As we move through the cleanup from this event, please know that you have an emergency. If you have a flooding emergency, like any other emergency, please call 911. These calls must get logged in properly. Also, while the rain has stopped, there are some concerns of higher winds with the flooding areas. This could impact tree roots, and if strong winds do come, tree limbs or full trees could come down. Just be aware of the situation and be safe. Again, my thanks to all our responders and to our close-knit community that is always willing to help their neighbors. Great job locally, and the same goes to all of our neighboring communities. The village of Honeoye Falls currently has no road closures, but we'll keep an eye on that. There are certainly some road closures around the district, and municipal offices will report on their local concerns. Finally, Brent Rosiak, the Deputy Supervisor for the town of Mendon, writes, hello and thank you for hearing me today. To begin with, I would like to recognize the town of Mendon highway staff, as well as all other towns and villages DPW staffs who worked on our local roads this week during the record-setting rain events. Without the hard work they do every day, the damage could have been worse. Due to the recent storms, 2 sections of New York State Route 251 in the town of Mendon were closed as of Friday morning. The first closed section was between Sheldon and Rush Town Line Road. The second section closed was between West Bloomfield Road and Bull Sawmill Road. The New York State Department of Transportation will be performing repairs on these two sections, and as of Friday morning, the state had not given a time frame when they would be completed. On a more upbeat note, it is getting to be the time of the year when our local groups and businesses have events. This past Tuesday, the Mendon Commons Plaza had a cruise-in night from 6 to 8 p.m. Local people brought their classic cars for the viewing public. Of course, the shops in the plaza were open for food, ice cream, and more. The cruise-in nights are planned for every other Tuesday this summer, so the next one is Tuesday, July 1st from 6 to 8 p.m. 20 Deep Winery at 187 Mendon-Honeoye Road has a summer concert every Friday from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. They also have a scheduled visits from Cousin's Maine Lobster Food Truck on June 22nd, August 17th, and September 28th, all Sundays from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. For a full list of their events, visit the 20 Deep website. That is only a couple of the businesses around the Hamlet of Mendon that will be hosting events this summer. I suggest visiting the website of each business to see what is coming up soon. Thank you for having me again. And before I go, this is Brent talking now. Before Brent goes, he'll ask that when you have a chance, thank the local highway or DPW worker for what they do. They are out there year-long providing services for our residents and businesses of our towns and villages. And that's our special Mayors and Supervisors report for this week. As always, you can watch it broadcast on Sunday at 1 p.m. on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Like the page or subscribe to the channel, and those platforms will notify you when the program begins. Otherwise, you can read the transcript in next week's paper. And if we do have any updates between now and deadline for this week's paper, we will include them in that transcript. That's all for this week. See you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.